Dear brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ, welcome to the second week of the season of Lent. The season of Lent is a wonderful time and opportunity given for us to examine ourselves and see where we are in our relationship with God and thus make a return to God who is waiting for us with open arms. It is a time given to stop by and analyze our life and the direction in which we travel. It is quite unfortunate that many of us who want to follow God's ways, who want to follow Christ, end up way too often in a filthy, sinful state, in ways that are not of God's. And so it is paramount that we take a U-turn and move in the direction that would lead us to God. The Gospel reading of today, taken from Mark chapter 9 verse 2 to 10, presents to us the account of Jesus' Transfiguration on Mount Tabor. It must have been a real visual experience for the disciples to see Jesus transform, to see his clothes turn bright, his face shine like the sun and so on. A sight, an experience that is definitely not of this world. The disciples were awestruck at what they witnessed. And what is most significant are the words proclaimed by the Father. "This is my Son, my beloved, listen to him." He said these same words at the baptism of Jesus, and he says these words once again and reveals the identity of Jesus. The Father owning his Son Jesus in his humanity, and the Son submitting himself to his Father in humility. A proud father who sees his son ready to go to any extent, even to the extent of sacrificing his own self to fulfill his will, to redeem his sons and daughters who are fallen, who have gone astray. I believe the sole purpose of our life here on earth is to make God our Father proud. We are called to be true sons and daughters of the Father while we live our lives here on earth. 1 John chapter 3 verse 1 says, "We are all God's children." At our baptism, God had said these very same words when the waters of baptism were poured on our heads. He owned us as his beloved sons and daughters. And now, it is our turn to make our Father proud. Now the question is, how can we make our Father proud? The answer to this question is found in today's first reading, in the story of Abraham. God, wanting to test Abraham's trust in him, asks for Abraham, his only beloved son, his last hope for the survival of his family, to be sacrificed on Mount Moriah. It certainly was a cruel demand placed on Abraham, and for sure, no parent would ever be willing to do such a thing. The mere thought of raising the knife on Isaac, would have made Abraham tremble. He certainly would have cried with so many whys and hows. Anybody who were to be in his place would have rejected God, would have said no to God's wish. But at the end of it all, Abraham takes his only son to Mount Moriah to be sacrificed. He was ready to give up what was precious to him for God. And we know the rest of the story, how God intervened and saved Isaac, and how God blessed Abraham for his trust and fidelity. No matter what difficulty or problems we face in our lives, if we are able to trust in God and are willing to do God's will like Jesus, like Abraham, that is when we make our Father proud. As we are in the season of Lent, let us try our best to make God our Father proud through whatever we do in this season of Lent. It is okay if we are not able to give anything to God, but we all know that we definitely will be able to give up something for God. For God says in Hosea 6:6, I desire mercy, not sacrifice, the knowledge of God rather than burnt offering. May the prayer, fasting, and the charity that we do in this season of Lent may make us eager to do God's will in all that we do, so that it may lead us back to God, who is waiting eagerly for our return. Let us strive our best to make God our Father proud in all that we do and say, Amen.